What's Gucci, y'all? So anyway, I thought I was going to make a video about vampirism and testing it out to see if it works. And also the subliminals, too. Willingly giving energy to my blue-haired metalhead girlfriend in Colombia to make her more beautiful. Anyway, since I'm not going to be talking about that, let's talk about something else. Title this video: Democrats and Republicans, India, or not title, or the subject matter, whatever, lack of a better word. The subject matter being about India, Israel, the United States in the fake meat trade and what their plans are. So, you remember how I briefly talked about Baron Trump in one of my videos. Actually, I can't remember, but it was a recent video about how, like, Donald Trump's got to give him the milk, he's got to give him, the steak, and he grows him up to this big thing. I heard something that was in a public school and the Secret Service was sneaking him back to home to eat and shit at lunchtime. Just some weird shit. Now, I've explained before that, and I've actually had Hindus admit this to me too, so I called them out on it, that, ancient Indians used to eat cow and stuff like that, the warrior class. And, let me light this up. And how it's weird that, Indians and shit, like, it's weird how to make a second part. It's weird that Indians, they treat the cow in New Delhi like shit. They let it eat and shit all over the place, junk and all that. This is a religion that made up along the way of its evolution that somehow, and its thing is, you think Indians just worship the cow and all that. Thing is, there's a non-violence movement in India. Like, the Hinduism believes in non-violence, and even though their gods have a history of it and stuff like that. It's why we see the confusion of monotheistic Hindus, too. Like, when it's actually that doesn't make any sense because it's a polytheistic religion. It's like how you have Buddhists, and then you have Hindus, and then you have fucking, fake Hindus, monotheistic Hindus. It's all a bunch of, sham and BS. That, yeah, like I was saying, though, ancient Hindus would eat, like, fucking cow, and they were badass and stuff. Now, if you look, okay, and I'm not saying I support Joe Biden. I'm not saying that. But if you look, when Joe Biden became president and, Vice President Kamala, rap wasn't that even fucking big anymore. Like, I didn't hear of a big rapper or anything in the fucking media or, like, how big rap was when they were a fucking president. It just proves my point that the Democrats know nothing about music. Democrats have the worst taste in music. When Donald Trump was president, we had all these rappers and shit like that making money and BS. When we, were given and making all this money, we thought it was better because we had money, but really we're getting ignored for all the fucking people that don't deserve attention. And, oh, they can have lobster. Oh, they can have steak. Because who supplies it? Oh, yeah, Donald Trump in Israel and India. Yeah, and there's fake, vegan meat companies in India. You see the street food, they have all different kinds of ways of it in India. They think they're the place where they invented cooking, They have all different kinds of food and things that they cook there. It's interesting, kind of, to be honest. But when you understand the evil of it, like, you can't support it. So Donald Trump can, have all the fine steak, his son Barron, and, all the fucking real organic milk, not organic, real fucking cow milk, grow him up because he doesn't have 3 daughters to fucking sacrifice or whatever. He has to give one to a Jew and the other a Muslim. Melania, and then fucking, Tiffany and shit. It's quite weird, y'all, like I said. So, also, another country that's really heavily involved in the fake meat trade, who is the biggest ally of India, is Israel. Israel, you know, the Israelis are tough. They need to become Canaanite, and they need to wipe off the Jewish question. I hate to say that because, like, wish we could live peaceably among people. Canaanite is the real Judaic religion, though, because, you know, Yahweh is just one God. He's a polytheistic God. Christianity started from a polytheistic, fake monotheistic religion. So, are Hindus just giving people like Donald Trump and all the rich people because there's a caste system and a judgment? You know, we'll get back to Israel in a second. A pass? Yeah, of course. Because they think, oh, well, if he eats meat, he'll have to pay for it in his next life. That's how they think. So they just don't care and accept it. It's like the fucking cows that they claim they worship and shit all over the place in New Delhi. What I'm trying to say is that they want to take away white people from eating meat. That's exactly what I'm trying to say, y'all. When you see basically the people that are outbreeding us. Now, I found this out that when I was born, the tax money that my mom had at her job and all that stuff, that went to other people that were being born around the same time as me. Little darkies. And that made me angry to hear that. And so what I'm saying is that, like, the people that are outbreeding us, they can get the food stamps and they can go to the store and they can buy all these meats and, you know, chicken cutlets and stuff like that for their family, send them off to school because they say that they don't want them at the house, they don't work and all that shit. Truancy laws. This is why I made the Yankee indoctrination curse, the cursey school system, the Yankee indoctrinated school system. And if white people, because, oh my God, I can't afford it, blah, 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 you know, I have to work and stuff like that. Too bad. You were a progressive. You were a progressive. You sealed your fate. Now, just like the My Chemical Romance song, teenagers scared the living shit out of me. They could care less as long as someone will bleed. So darken your clothes and strike a violent pose. They'll leave you alone, but not me. All together now. See what I'm trying to say, y'all? So, like, the ones that are outbreeding us don't have to work or anything like that because they found a way to take care of each other or that work for cheap. Because a new generation of them are not working. They've learned how to manipulate us. This is why they had a fucking... And that's the thing, y'all. Like I've been trying to explain, it's both the Republicans and the Democrats that are guilty of this. It's just that the Democrats are stupid and the Republicans are playing it smart. The Republicans are smarter at oppressing people. This is why they use religion and nationalism and stuff like that. Like Christianity. Somehow they don't have a problem with Hindus, but they make it out to be that, you know, if you're a Satanist or whatever, you sacrifice children, which is not fucking true. Go back into the U.S. history. George Washington, all these fucking people, our founding fathers practiced leeches and bloodletting for healing and stuff like that. So that's all bullshit. It's, you know, science. Satanism is science. But understand this. And China is involved with it too, but I'm not bringing China really into it now because, like, I kind of already mentioned that in this video with the Buddhism, offshoot of Hinduism and stuff. You know, like, they got tofu. Come on. Understand that Hindus, Judaic people, Christians that are rich, they want to ban real meat. They want to restrict you from owning property like the Romans did to other Romans so they can fight a war. Now, if I say 9/11 was a Yankee indoctrinated thing because we've lived among the Union peacefully for, say, 150 years, and just until recently we're mad at the Union, who was most of the people that signed up to go over to Iraq and stuff like that? It was Southerners, white Southerners. And they were the first ones to die. Not many darkies died over there. And that was due to the fucking United Nations conventions. I don't know if the Geneva Conventions. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like, all these rules and war. The Yankee indoctrinated government up north which hates us, sent us over there. They tricked us into uniting with the Union so we could die, foolishly. And when you see what's going on now with the government and stuff like that, you know, the developers and the realtors and stuff like that, it makes sense. They try to get rid of all of us. Understand that they want to ban the one thing that when we put in our mouth, we chew it and it eats us and it gives us growth hormone and heals us and all that stuff. They want to ban it. Now, luckily, we still got things like tobacco and stuff like that, which is an enhancer. It also helps us fast and protest this shitty world. And, you know, fasting, they've found out, you know, produces HDH too. I will repeat it again. The United States, Yankee government, the rich people as well, Israel, India, want to ban meat and they want to ban you from owning property. The Republican government more so. So they can make you fight a war that you're not going to come back from. They want to enslave you like they banned the Romans from owning property. And this is why, like, okay, I'll give you an example. When I would say curse all Hindus, this guy, Krish, that I know would come a few days later or whatever, even though he didn't see that, oh, I saw you posted that or whatever on your blast on Meet Me. He'd come a few days later. And then he would say shit like, oh, my uncle died, this uncle died. Like, how many uncles do you fucking have? So you try to make me feel like I cursed your uncle. Wow. And Indians are so stupid, too. You know how, like, you know, jealous people, like, say, like, if you do become successful in the right sense, jealous people or people that don't have your best intentions, they're like, hey, remember me and send me all this money or whatever. Send me $1 million of it. Who the fuck are you? Fuck off. And I'm going to repeat it again. Remind them the choice to survive, just like the Agnostic Front song. Israel, India, the United States, Yankee government want to ban meat and you to own property and to have your guns. Because I'm going to tell you something. Not once did the cops ever get called on me or whatever over some dumb shit. Like, really, when Biden was president. When Trump was president, I posted a picture of a gun on Facebook, said life is good, and added a bunch of people local to my county. Guess what happened? Oh, the cop showed up. I thought you could post all this stuff on Facebook and, you know, like, cool this, cool that. Funny. Very fucking funny how the Republicans claim that they're for gun ownership and stuff like that. What does that tell you? Maybe it's just the county I live in, and I do believe it has a lot to do with that. Indian River County is not like a Polk County, Florida. Yeah. So I'll just say fuck my county on that. But if and this is a Trump county, by the way, y'all. So a Trump county that wants to ban your guns and all that stuff, take away it, let all the tourists come here, develop and own the land, kick all the homeless out and all that. Even though I don't give a shit about the homeless dug their own grave by not letting me become one of them when I decided to drive through the woods on my bike. Odin in passing. So the homeless people are getting what they deserve too. I don't need to repeat what I said before, but it should be understood that Hinduism, Christianity, the Yankees, the Union, Israel, no one is God's chosen person when it comes from a fucking polytheistic religion. There's not one God. There's many gods, and there's many goddesses. As God and Goddess, as our eternal savior for the South, I wish I was in Dixieland. I really was. I really wish I was. With that being said, now that we know who our enemies are, And we know who the ones that's promoting the trash and the lobster eating rappers and all that stuff. Israel, Yankees, and India. There's your Trinity, and there's your problem. Peace.